Ladies and gentlemen, kings and queens, welcome back to another video. It is your host, Ordinary Guy, back at it again. So this video is actually my thoughts and reaction to the Game Awards that happened yesterday. So I'm just going to touch on the games that kind of piqued my interests, and I'm going to touch on just some of the awards, my thoughts, and the game of the year. All right, so I have some notes right here, and first and foremost, the first thing that got my attention in the Game Awards was God of War Ragnarok Valhalla. It is a free DLC coming out this Tuesday. I think that's the 15th. No, the 12th. The 12th. So this Tuesday on the 12th, we have a free DLC for God of War Ragnarok Valhalla. Super excited about that, and appreciative of this like Christmas gift from the company that made God of War. Because, for example, we're getting a remastered version of The Last of Us Part 2, and we have to pay $10 to get that remaster. On top of that, all the new features that's coming, all the updates is coming in that remaster. So the fans that bought the game expecting multiplayer like the first game, or even just a different mode like what they're giving us now, the no return mode, I feel like that should just be free DLC, given that we've been waiting for something. Because in The Last of Us, we had multiplayer and it was free. You know what I'm saying? And then we was expecting the multiplayer for part two, never got it. It's been almost 4 years, because next year makes it 4 years. It came out in 2020. And even if they didn't give us multiplayer, because they mentioned that they're going to make a new separate game for the multiplayer, we still thought that we was going to get some type of update or added DLC, and we never got it. And it's been way too long. And here comes God of War. It just came out last year. Now a year later, we get free DLC. Mind you, games like Horizon, we had to pay $20 for extra DLC. You know what I'm saying? And here's this fun mode that we can enjoy in God of War that's going to be replayable for a one player game. So I really appreciate that. The next game that they showed was Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. That's one of my favorite anticipated games for the Switch coming out next year. Apparently, there's a free demo January 11th, which is awesome. I'm happy about that. The game looks good. It was a story mode trailer, super awesome. I think all the games that I reference in this video, I'm gonna do another second reaction to all the videos, and talk about them separately. But yeah, that's a good game that they mentioned. What I like about the Game Awards sidebar is that they had a lot of like celebrities that we know from like Falcon. I don't remember celebrity name. I'm bad with celebrity names, but like Falcon, the guy, the black guy that played Falcon, or the Winter Soldier, and the Captain Falcon, he was there, and the guy that starred in Dune, I forgot his name, but there was a lot of people. Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings, that actor was there. The guy that played Ken number two, he was also there. His foot was in a cast because he he tore his Achilles playing pickup basketball. Crazy. Um, then Sega came out and mentioned that they're remaking some old games. I've never owned a Sega growing up, so some of the games I didn't know. The only game that stood out to me was Crazy Taxi. They have a Crazy Taxi remake coming out. I think I have a video here that I can show y'all. I think it's right here.
Sega has just announced a brand new Crazy Taxi game at the Game Awards and gave us 6 seconds of...
Yeah, so this is the Crazy Taxi. It's a remake and it looks awesome. Look at it. What? So this got me excited. And this is how it used to look. And this was a fun game and how it is, but now we got a remake and it looks improved. I love it. What? Look how improved it is. I can't wait to play it. What? And it looks like you have like police chasing you and stuff. That's gonna be fun. So yeah. So they got Crazy Taxi coming out, a remake. I don't know when. Then they got Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I'm a little bit confused that they have a Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, because we thought it was Tenkaichi 4. So I'm kind of like, is this two separate games or did they rename it? I'm not too sure. I have to do some research on that. But yeah, so there's a new Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. It looks amazing. It looks like it's the Tenkaichi 4. Maybe they renamed it to start fresh. I don't know, but it's awesome to see. We didn't get any release date though. Another game for me is Rise of the Ronin. That's coming out March 22nd next year. So that's something to look forward to. It's a dope game, like a sword fighting kind of game. I love fighting game where you can like block and parry and perfect parry to get counters to attack and specials and combos. I love stuff like that. There's another game that piqued my interest that's out right now is Rocket Racing. I don't know if it's a collab with Fortnite or some crap like that, but there's a game called Rocket Racing that I thought would seem fun because it was like regular car racing, but it had extra things to it. Maybe I can show you guys right now. Actually, let's see. Rocket Racing, right? Rocket Racing. Let's check it out right now. Yeah, so this is the Rocket Racing. I just thought it looked cool. I mean, this is probably not actual gameplay, but the ideas seem cool because it looks like, the cars look good. It reminds me of Hot Wheels. And yeah, it's just like the random stuff. You can jump your cars and there's shortcuts, Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. Just kind of skipping through. And then there was this part right here where she jumped on the ceiling and she drifted to get ahead. I'm like, what? She did her boost and came first. Like, that was, to me, that was dope. It says Rocket Racing. Oh, it's out. Yeah. Find it in Fortnite. So it's in Fortnite. Wow. I think that was a good idea. My gripe about game trailers these days is that they do all these like cinematic type of trailers, and I feel like as fans and as gamers, we don't want to see cinematic trailers that's misleading us anymore. We want to see trailers that only show gameplay, or at least show some gameplay so we have an idea of what the game really is like, because there's too many times we see the cinematic trailers and then like we play the game and it's like, this is nothing like what we saw in the trailers. It's kind of whack, you know what I'm saying? And you're kind of just like misleading us through kind of false advertisement. So yeah, so what we got, Rocket Racing, so that was cool. Another thing I liked about it was Black Myth, the Black Myth Wukong game. I've been anticipating that game since they released. They talked about it since 2020. So it's finally coming out August 20th, 2024. Looking forward to that. Then they mentioned Suicide Squad. I feel like a lot of fans are not that interested in Suicide Squad, the way how the gameplay and stuff is and whatnot. And it got delayed because I think it's supposed to come out the ending of this year, and I think it got delayed for February. So that's coming out February 2nd, 2024. They also revealed an update for Warframe. And I remember Warframe was a game that came out for free on the PS3. And they've been updating. I didn't even know they were updating that since, which is crazy to find out. But the trailer for it, I was actually shocked how good it was. I'm gonna show you that game too. Warframe. I was super shocked to find out.
You've slept. No purpose.
So this is Warframe. Compared to like in the beginning when I used to first play this game is amazing. Look how clean it looks now. And I remember playing with that same character, the same, and look how cool it is. What? Yo, and it's free? I'm about to download this game. Look at it. What? Look how cool that is. Ah, cool.
It is waiting.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Don't
Is that him without his mask?
late.
I don't know. He looks like it has story mode and junk. Yo. What? I want to play. Ooh. Looks mad cool. What the heck? But yeah, that's Warframe. Um, then there was another game called Tales. Just show you a picture of it. Tales of the Kinzera. Kinzera Zao. Yeah, it looked cool. Not much gameplay. It reminded me. Let me just show you. So this is it right here. Tales of the Kenzera Zao. Which I thought was pretty cool. Then there was a game called Lost Records Bloom and Rage. Another game that seemed cool. It was pretty much a trailer with 4 girls that were friends as teenagers, and then something happened, and then essentially something crazy happened to them in the forest, and they saw something wild. I don't know. We didn't get to see what it is, and then essentially they go 27 years later where the kids get older, they're much older adults, and maybe they're talking about what they saw years ago that they're now mentioning for whatever reason. It's coming out late 2024. And it's the same creators that made Life is Strange, so you already know that game was unique when it first came out and different, and I'm curious to see how they make, become a little bit more innovative, in this game. Then there was another game called the first Berserker Kazan. There's this game here. It just looked cool. It had sword fighting and stuff like that. It looked interesting. Anything to do with parry, dodging, attacking, specials, combos, sword fighting, and a challenge. I love it. Um, and they revealed that they're coming out with a new Blade Marvel game. Blade Marvel game. It looked awesome. Yeah, it looked awesome. Yeah, here it is right here. Oh my god, what? I was shocked. This was a shocker for me. Definitely looking forward to playing that. And it's from Marvel, and the people from Bethesda made it, so that means Bayonetta is gonna be fun because he has swords and I think he has guns too. But that's gonna be fun as hell. Then another game is the last Sentinel game. This looked cool too. It looks like it's in a world with like robots and stuff. I'm not sure if they're all robots or just some is humans, some is half robots or what. I don't know. Androids, I have no idea. And they only gave us a cinematic trailer, so I don't know what the gameplay is going to be like. And this is the annoying part about games, right? And these cinematic trailers mislead you. You kind of want gameplay. Like, don't show me nothing if you don't have gameplay. You know what I'm saying? But it looks pretty interesting. The story looks cool. It looks badass. So I'm looking forward to that. Another game was the first Descendant. But here you go. This looked interesting as well. It looks like a shooter slash, stuff like that. It just looked cool. It just piqued my interest. Another game for the meta is Asgard Wrath. Yeah, Asgard's Wrath. It's a game for the meta, maybe even a meta quest 1, 2, and 3. You can actually get Asgard's Wrath for free if you buy the MetaQuest 3 limited time, of course, probably till the holidays is over. So you can get that. And they announced that there's actually a Fallout series coming out, or is coming out series, Fallout series, which is another video game adaptation that's coming to life, which is very interesting. Here's a little picture right here. Very interesting. I never played the Fallout games. I don't really care to play them, to be honest, but to have it come to life is pretty damn cool. So yeah, those are all the notes that I had for the Game Awards. And then for the main part, Zelda won Best Action / Adventure Game for the year, which I guess it's an adventure. For me, just Zelda's not my cup of tea. So I just thought like Best Action / Adventure Game should have been more like Spider-Man or something. But Zelda is an adventure. If you're talking about an adventure, yeah, then I see how they won. But I just thought in my head, the whole action part, I just felt like Spider-Man had a lot of action. So here's where we get in depth with Game of the Year. So I wanted Game of the Year, Spider-Man 2 to win Game of the Year. And for the second time, Spider-Man lost. I'm just a Spider-Man fan, so rightfully so. And that's the game that I played, and I felt like that deserved Game of the Year. Hence, obviously, I didn't play all the other games, and some of them may not be my cup of tea. However, I will say this: the winner of Game of the Year was Baldur's Gate 3. And I remember when it first came out, I think back in August. It came out on PC in August, and in September it came out on Xbox. And I think it's supposed to come out for PS5 soon, or if not, it is out for PS5. And I'm very shocked because in the little stuff that I saw from Baldur's Gate 3, it didn't look like it didn't look like my type of game. But I'm very curious to play a little bit just to see. This game just came out in August and won Game of the Year, and I'm just like, what? You know what I'm saying? And I felt like, to me, the most anticipated game of the year was Spider-Man, but I don't know. I don't remember what won most anticipated game of the year. I don't think they had that, but anyways. So here's my thoughts on Game of the Year. For me, it was unexpected because I didn't think Baldur's Gate 3. You know what? I'm lying. I've heard a lot of people say that Baldur's Gate 3 was amazing. It just didn't look like a game that's for me. But I know there's a lot of people out there that like that RPG type of gaming. That's just like the best genre of gaming. One of the best genre of gaming. And there's a big community for games like that. Maybe I should give it a try. I've never tried it, so I can't judge. But I did hear since it came out that it was going to win Game of the Year, and it actually came true, and it beat Spider-Man. In fact, Spider-Man 2 won no awards at all. And being a big Spider-Man 2 fan and loving the game, I will say they deserve it. They deserve to get 0 awards. And some people probably thinking, oh my God, I'm a big Spider-Man fan and I love the game. And in my mind, I thought the game was Game of the Year because that's just the game I played compared to all the other games. I haven't played Alan Wake 2, which Alan Wake 2 surprised me with a lot of awards they won. And they won best game direction or best narrative or something like that. So I'm curious to play that too, because it seems like the story for that is going to be amazing. But in critiquing Spider-Man 2 specifically, the very first Spider-Man game was innovative. It was different. It brought a level of Spider-Man that we've never seen before, and it was, for the time 5 years ago, it was great. And either one of those games, whether it's God of War or Spider-Man 2018, it deserved Game of the Year. But God of War was more flushed out. Even I would argue if Spider-Man had came out last year with God of War would have beat it as well, because they're just too much of a good game. Elden Ring ended up winning last year regardless, so both of them ended up losing out. But with Spider-Man 2, they played it safe. I would honestly argue that Spider-Man 2 wasn't up to par. Like, I remember when I played the first Spider-Man game, including Miles Morales. I played that game 3 different times, and I enjoyed playing Spider-Man 2. It was great. I was happy that it existed, but I will admit something about it felt like something was missing. I felt like it was same-ish, it was the same game, just enhanced. Versus Miles Morales, I felt like was a big jump from the 2018 Spider-Man, and I can argue that Miles Morales felt more innovative than Spider-Man 2 did. The tricks from swinging and using tricks for Miles, and the gameplay felt more balanced and fun. And I just felt like they would, in comparing Spider-Man 2 to the other games, there were things that they took away that kind of like made a great impression and identity that Spider-Man 2 didn't have. Like I remember in the old Spider-Man games, you can level up your finishers. Once you get a bar to do a finisher, you can level it up so where one bar you can get 2 finishers at a time. In the new game, they took that out. I think they took it out in an attempt to make the game harder, but I just felt like the old games felt more rewarding, that I can do 2 finishers for one back to back. Oh, of course, if you don't do it back to back, you lose that second finisher because there's a short period where you have to use it again. But they took that out. 2, before, if you had any type of focus bar, you can heal no matter what. But in this game, you had to get a bar of focus before even considering healing or using the finisher. And I just felt like, I miss being able to heal anytime I want as long as I had the focus bar. But I think they did that to kind of make the game harder. But I just like the idea that I could just use my focus anytime and it'll heal a little bit of my health. But I get it, I guess. Another thing that they took away was when you used to perfect dodge, you used to perfect dodge and shoot somebody in the head with a web shot, and then they'll get stunned, and then you press triangle to hit them, to zip and kick them in the face, and that will be an automatic takedown. And it used to be a great reward for doing a perfect dodge. You know what I'm saying? But nowadays, when you perfect in the new game, if you perfect dodge, there's no consequence. You just web zip them, and then they're just like, and then that's it. They took it away. And even with the gadgets, and I know some people don't like gadgets for Spider-Man because they rather just be Spider-Man and use webs. But I just felt like the gadgets in the first game, even Miles Morales, was really good, and it was very useful, and it gave depth to the combat, like being able to use different gadgets. And once you get the hang of them and learn how to use each one, they're very useful. The concept of the game and the combos become really fun. But I felt like what they did was they dumbed down and took away the gadgets, and especially all the good gadgets like the web bomb and stuff like that I used to actually love. And they only gave you, after, like, let's say they had like 7 or 8 different gadgets, they took all that away and gave us only 4. And then the gadgets felt like they were like they made them in a way they were made to set up combos. So if you want to do, a web is like a web thing that grabs enemies and bring them together. That was like, let's go back to full screen. That was like set up so that you can maybe like bring them together, and when they jumble up together, then you can do like a venom punch with Miles, or you can like attack with your arms, your spider arms with Peter. And then there was a shot, a gadget where it shoots your enemies up in the air, and then you can just kind of web zip up in the air and do web air combos. But I just felt like I don't know, the web. I just feel like although maybe I have to learn to use them better. And once you get the hang of it and the combos, like it gets kind of fun, like bouncing the enemies on the ground and webbing underneath them in the air and hit them down and little things like that. Like it's cool, but I just felt like it missed the bar. Like I heard a lot of people also mention that Spider-Man 2, like it just was safe. They didn't innovate enough, and it was the things that they did was just kind of old. You know what I'm saying? Like they kept the same formula because it was safe, and that's what won. And like some people would argue they thought that since it's Spider-Man, it would get points and like do well regardless, but it didn't win any rewards. And I think they deserve it. I think now they have to think about it and be like, you know what? We have to do something different and innovative for Spider-Man 3. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe a Spider-Man 3 is coming. We just don't know when. maybe the next 2 or 3 years, but they got to do better. I just feel like the game missed. I just felt like there's still something missing about the game. Like, for example, I restarted the game on the hardest difficulty, ultimate mode, and I haven't even beat it yet. Knowing me, I probably would have beaten Spider-Man 3 times by now. Loving the last 2 games. And this game, don't get me wrong, this I would still say that this is the best Spider-Man game because it's the best updated, version of the game, and you get to play as both Miles and Peter, and like there were great stuff about the game. But I will also argue that there was a lot of glitches in this game that wasn't present in the first Spider-Man or in Miles. This game had more glitches. I've experienced more glitches in this Spider-Man 2 game than the other Spider-Mans. I love Spider-Man so much. I'm going so in depth in this specific talk. I probably should have did a separate video talking about Spider-Man, but yeah, that's just my opinion. I just feel like it just didn't do enough to innovate, and the things that they did do was just using the same formula and adding to it, and being safe about it too. Not to mention, in all the old games, we hated the Mary Jane, and in the first game before Miles got his powers, there was a Miles section. The Miles section was a little bit more fun, but both things were kind of boring and stupid. We don't really want to do those things. I will admit that playing as MJ in the new Spider-Man game was pretty fun, and I enjoyed it, but it felt like a completely different game. But it did switch things up, so I liked it a little bit. But overall, to be honest, stop trying to make MJ a hero. She's just really supposed to be an important character in Peter's life, and that's his love interest. That's it. But we live in a world these days that we want to empower women a lot and just like include them, and nothing's wrong with that. But I just feel like MJ personally is just not that character. She's just supposed to be a regular person. She has no powers. She's not a smart genius that I could recall. She's just supposed to be his love interest that's just there. That's it. And if she gets in trouble, Spider-Man saves her. That's it. She can help out maybe on the computer, or like help out from afar. You know what I'm saying? Like how Genki does. Like, she can probably be that person, but she's always trying to be on the field to do something. And I understand the whole narrative is like, I'm tired of being saved and yada, yada, yada. Like, I get it, but come on. You know what I'm saying? I did like the part that they made her turn into Scream. That was really fun, and that was one of my favorite boss battles in the game. So I will give them props. The boss battles improved, and there was a lot of great things about the game. I just feel like it was just like not enough to be like worthy of Game of the Year, comparing it to Baldur's Gate 3, where even though I never played the game, I do know that it innovated and did something special and different that people loved. I feel like Spider-Man 2 just didn't do enough to deserve Game of the Year, or in this case, deserve any awards, to be honest. That's just my opinion. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of what I liked about the Game Awards. And put in the comments what you think. If you did watch the Game Awards, what games are you looking forward to and stuff like that. I'm going to react to some of the games that I mentioned in different videos. So stay tuned for that. And I'm just going to, tell my opinion, my second reaction to them. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and, stay tuned for other videos. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good day, and deuces.